Right, here we go. New digs today. We're gonna get going with the Ford Pinto. I'm just kidding. It's the Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro OSP Comp. I get that name screwed up, mixed up, all jacked up during the video, so I do apologize. Yeah, we're gonna go through first 100 rounds with the Hellcat Pro OSP Comp. And then we're gonna go over a couple of points in the outro. Welcome back. This is a new setup, but it's not gonna be the permanent setup. It's a jerry-rigged setup for right now because of moving situations. It'll be more refined and pounded out in a minute, so give me a couple. We might have to stay here for a second before we get into a new situation, but yeah, let's see how we do today. And stay tuned for the outro. Thanks for being here. Enjoy. This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. All firearm handling shown is performed by trained individuals in a controlled environment. Always follow the 4 rules of gun safety. Number 1, treat your firearm as if it's loaded. Number 2, never point a firearm at anything you do not intend to destroy. Number 3, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Number 4, be sure of your target and what's beyond it. Comply with all local, state, and federal laws regarding firearms. Do not attempt to replicate any action seen in this video without proper training and safety measures. The creators assume no liability for misuse or unsafe practices. Excuse me, bless me, oh my gosh. Welcome back, you, to the pew, here for another 1,000 round review series with the Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro OSP Comp, or Pro Comp OSP. At naming convention, I got it mixed up a little bit. So this is a new pistol today. We are shooting with the 9mm Hellcat as an EDC carry, so I'm going to be shooting with the G-code Paradigm holster inside the waistband. And today I'm going to be shooting at a distance of 13.6 or 14 yards, along with 16 and 22 respectively. So I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's kind of blurry. Oh, that's why I just zoomed in. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So, sorry about that. 13.6 or 14 yards, 22 back there, and then 16 over yonder. Why are you doing this? Focus, thank you. All right, so Blazer 124 grain, I'm sorry if I said 115, 124 grain Blazer full metal jacket to start with. Might shoot 124 later on, but then we're gonna stick with 115 because it's cheaper to shoot. Relatively speaking, I know 124 and 115 are sort of interchangeable, but we got a lot of magazines, so I'm gonna have a lot of magazine holsters. We the People holster we're gonna be carrying, Blackhawk. We're gonna be doing that. Put these on right now. We the People right here. Another We the People. And Ketty. And LRG Custom. LAG, I think. Custom. I don't have any real estate on my belt to put it way back here. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna load 60 rounds. We'll shoot at these distances just to get my initial impressions. When I first held this gun, I liked it. I liked Springfield's model where they have the grip texture wrapped all the way around, 360 degrees. They have the texture up here on the sides, which I do like also. They have the texture on the gas pedal area for your thumb, and also your trigger finger resting area right there, which they had a little bit of texture on the trigger guard where I rest my index finger for my left hand, but not a problem. I like that they have their magazine release only on one side, so I don't press it when I touch with extra skin on my middle finger. slide stop is nice. Texture up top is aggressive enough that you can grip onto it, but smooth enough that it can rest against your body nice and easy. It's got a port through the barrel at the end, nice and big barrel. I'm sorry, nice and big port. It's even got texture on the spring guide rod. Sorry, not the spring rod, the guide rod. So nice sights. They got a little U shape with their just white. They're not tritium. Single stack form factor. The beaver tail is it's all right. I think I might get a little bit of a bite when I get it too high of a purchase out of my holster. Let me try. Let's see. Fits nice and flush. It's very, very nice to carry. I definitely will consider carrying this as an EDC through my rotation. So yeah, no, it's very nice. Very nice. Yeah, okay. So let's get it loaded up and start cycling through this 124. Thank you so much for being here on this journey, starting at 100. Let's go through this thing. It's going to be exciting. I really have high hopes for this. And the Echelon has proven to be very, very effective, and for the money is incredible. It's the price of this pistol, so it says a lot. I only carry 10 round magazines, and I only load 10 rounds per YouTube policy. I do static standing drills for these 1,000 rounds. I am trying to familiarize myself with the eccentricities, characteristics, and nuances of the pistol, not by moving and shooting, but just by standing static and picking at it. I will do some tactics or move and shoot later on. I have a lot of firearms to go through, so this is going to be a longer process than a lot of other gun tubers or YouTubers that they do gun reviews. I decided to change it up a little bit and make it so I show my BOE, my body of evidence of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and then you can see the little ticks here and there, or my journey, just the journey overall. You could see through it, and then when I do my review, you can garner your opinion based on how I shot, as opposed to how maybe you would shoot. So anyway, try to give it a little bit of background on my channel and what I'm doing here. So I've done it before on other pistols, but I'm starting to refine the process. So I got my gun camera here off to the left so you can see a close-up of the pistol. I have my target camera here to my left to show the targets being shot at. I have my shoot camera to show me and what I'm doing here, my body position. And then I have my table camera to show my reloading process. Some of this is tedious, some of it is monotonous, and I don't need to do it. Again, this is just part of my journey, my process of filming. Is I want to show everything. I do minimal edits. I try to speed up the loading of the pistol, and then go from there. I have different ranges that I shoot at, and I am here in Free America, which I have a little bit of dirt behind me in Free America. I'm going to vamp because I can't disclose information that is not supposed to be disclosed per YouTube policy. Okay, so I'm going to start at 60. I'm going to start with 22 and then move on to the humble tree, which I like to call because it's very humbling, the aiming of it. And then that little spot on the humble tree, that base, and then I'll go over to the 16-yard silhouette, and then I'll just dance around. So I've got 60 rounds on me. Let's get this going. Let's get this started. Thank you again for being here. Let me do that over. I want to. Not good. It has a kick. You could feel it definitely has a little bit of a kick. Just a head above. Stand by and let me fix my facial hair. Dang. such a bow, so I gotta aim low. A little bit of a snap to it. I know that was mentioned before, and I have shot this gun before. I just wanted to see what the 124 was like. Unintentional, that last one. Yeah, it's down to the right. I'm hitting center. So I'm aiming bottom shoulder, like armpit area. Unintentional. Oh, sorry. I'm so used to shooting the 22, I gotta jump around. So let me shoot at the humble tree a little bit. Yeah, it's down way low. Way low. All right, let me go for the little spot spring back. Hang on. All right, let's go over to the 16 yard. So it's probably gonna be the same thing. Bottom right. Bottom right. A little bit better. It was hitting bottom right, so I think maybe, I don't know, it's weird, 16 yards. So 16, yeah, I don't know, it seems to be hitting in the spot that I'm aiming, so let me try the 16 again and see where I'm going. I'm going to aim for the clavicle area. No, needs to be just to the bottom right. All right, let's try to do a little dance around. Nope. I'm using different types of ammunition as well. So 115, 124, and I will be using 147 through this. And I'll be doing an EDC comparison with hollow points. So I've got a lot of EDC pistols. I'm going to shoot at least 20 rounds through each of them to see how they do with the hollow point. Gosh, that one's tough. One more. All right. Well, the aiming is definitely something to get used to because I keep both my eyes open. I don't close my eyes. I'm not using any red dots. I'm not using any modifications. This is stock configuration for all the pistols that I shoot. In case you're new to the channel, that's why I'm going through this first 100 and I talk about this stuff so that everybody's aware. I don't have any modifications and I don't plan on doing anything modifications just because I'm so used to shooting with iron sights now. I've gone through a lot of different firearms, so I think I'm going to try to keep it to iron sights. In any case, we'll see eventually what goes on. Great feature set on this pistol. It's definitely something to get used to. I've got and it's 124 grain, so there might be some different characteristics with the different ammunition. So I gotta try 147 and 115 and see how that does. So, okay, yeah, I like it so far. It's doing well. It's got a little bit of a snap to it, and I think the P365 X Macro Carry Comp is one of my favorites for just in general carry. The Canic would be next, and I think this one might be tied with the Canic. I'll have to try those out together at some point. So tell me what you think about your Springfield Hellcat, or if you have the Hellcat Pro OSP, Pro Comp OSP, that's what it was, Pro Comp OSP. Tell me what you think. So far, so good. I like it. Sights are a little wonky, but I'll have to dial that in, get used to it. So stay tuned for the outro. Come back for 200, where I'll be shooting 115 grain most likely, and another 100 rounds through the Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro OSP Comp, Pro Comp OSP. I'll get it right next time. Take care, aim for center mass, pick up your brass, wash your ass, and say hi to your mom for me. All right, yeah. I do think that it was a little rushed, a little fast. I felt good shooting it, but it did seem to be a little bit more fast-paced, and I hope, not to keep doing that, but YouTube policy has strict guidelines regarding certain matters, certain things. I'm not going to mention what they are. You don't need to know, because it doesn't really matter too much, especially because it only comes across in flashes. But that being said, don't mind the blurred out stuff. It's just regular policy stuff you have to follow. It felt good. I've shot this before. A family member had one, and I shot through it, and I liked it. I did expect a little bit more with the port compared to, let's say, the SIG P365 X Macro. Of course, this is not ported, this is comped, but I do feel a little bit better with this, which is interesting because I hear a lot of thoughts on whether the ports are more effective than the comps. Tell me what you think and what your experience is, and of course I'd have to do a head-to-head EDC sort of shootout with all of the different comps, ports, non-comped, non-ported firearms in my repertoire, but for right now, these two, and shooting today with the Hellcat Pro OSP Comp, it's snap. It's got a little snap to it. So 365X Macro Comp is very smooth, very, very smooth, and that's why I carry it. But I do consider carrying the Hellcat Pro OSP Comp. So tell me what your thoughts are on the whole port comp conversation. That is a pretty big one, and I might have mentioned it before, but for any new people that are here, go ahead and chime in and weigh in on your thoughts, and we'll continue on. And things can change, things can change with the different design cues of the firearms. I'm sure the slide length, the grip length, grip width, all these different factors can come into play and can take away or add to the effectiveness or non-effectiveness of the comp or a port. So tell me what you think about your Hellcat, or if you have the P365, any of your firearms that have a comp or a port. If you feel that there's a difference between the two, one's better than the other, let me know. Yeah, it was good. It was good overall. I really did enjoy the first 100. We're going to go through another 900 rounds and get to that place where we can give that determination. 124 grain did pretty good. Accuracy was all right. It definitely has a different, maybe because the sight is a little bit closer. It's not all the way out here on the tip, and I didn't measure the slide, but that's immaterial. And yeah, we'll talk. I mentioned the ergos and the different texture and stuff. We'll go over that stuff later on. I won't mention it now. Let's just keep it short, nice and sweet, in and out. And we'll come back tomorrow to discuss round 200 and more parts of the firearm that I like and don't like, and then the shoot, and great stuff. Glad everybody's here. Thank you for joining me I appreciate everybody. And back to the SIG P320 really quick. I wanted to thank a commenter for mentioning that there still is a lot of P320s out there that have good track records. They're still in use and they're still being, put out there, still being sold. So my take was a little narrow, and I want to mention that too, because we're all in this space and we all watch this space. We don't have a real connection with the real world because we are here, and there's only a certain handful of people in the community here on YouTube. So I have to take that into consideration. And I'm telling you, the viewer, and myself, that I will have caveats about what I say, and I'm not going to say it in totality. It's just what I've seen, what I've experienced, and how I shoot is a very small sample size. It's holistic, sure, but it's not a total and ever-encompassing viewpoint, given that one person, right? And I'm maybe watching 15 different people, and I might see a couple of stragglers here or there that have a same or different take on this firearm or any other firearm, namely the P320. So that being the case, I didn't have all the information, and I did get a couple of things, like the military still uses the P320, the contract is still active, and then also they are still being used quite a bit. I know this is the Hellcat, I know this is the outro for the Hellcat, but I still wanted to mention that, because if you've been here, you know me, and I want to clarify those things, because it's very important to me to give that good information. And I do appreciate if there's correctors out there who will critique me and let me know. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. So I'll do better, and I'll continue to do better and correct myself as necessary. Again, thank you. Stay for 200, come back for 200. Like, subscribe, comment, recommend, all that jazz, not in that particular order. Thank you again. 照顾好自己，注意安全。